I wanted to make a video real quick before I call it a night. The message of today, which is understandable, uh, through many different ways, God's like telling me, uh, keep your mind strong, stay focused, because He knows my mind is just, I'm being affected by so many things. I'm allowing myself to be affected by so many things. It's not even funny. My brain's having trouble keeping up with everything. You know what I mean? It is. So, um, if I don't keep up with the comments, that's why. Just like I've been having trouble keeping up with everything. What's going on in real life and in the digital world and just everything. Just like God knows my mind is not centered and solid right now, Like sometimes it may have been in the past. These days it's not. But I've been a lot of things have happened that I didn't see coming, like uh like all the subscribers that came out of nowhere, I didn't see that coming. So that has been affecting me, like discombobulating me, and God knows it. Like um, I'm letting the Christians get to me, and God knows I am. Like I knew they would, but God brought them in, so I'm like, God damn it. So I'm like, God, it's your fault. It's your fault you brought the Christians in to me. You brought them to me. It's your fault, I wasn't ready for it. You thought I was, but I wasn't, obviously. Pull my hair out, Pull my hair out. Christians are like a broken record, Like I thought I was a broken record. They are too. Just like, man, they're telling me the same shit. Like, so anyways, enough about that. So God's telling me, keep your mind solid, have the mind of Christ, which I don't have yet. If I had the mind of Christ fully, I wouldn't be so distracted and all over the place. Because there's one thing I know about Jesus. He doesn't get distracted. He doesn't get distracted. He's solid all the time. Like I said, if he was distracted, I would be dead a long time ago if he was distracted. He's on the ball. Never distracted, that guy. So, can't pull fast one on. Can't pull fast one on Jesus. Trust me. If you're trying to make your exit from the planet, he knows. I can tell you that much, 100% certainty. If you're trying to check out, Jesus knows. Even if you're not in any sight of any human, Jesus knows if you're trying to check out. I promise. Ask me how I know. But anyways, enough about that. Crazy talk. So basically, God knows I'm all over the place. I'm like trying to keep it together. I'm like, stay in the present, stay in the present, stay in the present, So another thing that was said at the Baptist church is like, no one likes to be around a complainer and a grumpy pants and all that, I think that was directed at me, but I wouldn't be complaining if I was healed. I wasn't in pain every day. I wouldn't be complaining. God didn't fulfill a promise after 10 years. 10 years didn't fulfill a promise. God. I'm allowed to complain after 10 years. In my opinion, It's the only reason I stayed alive. And God knows it. The only reason I stayed alive was this promise. That's it. I don't care about this world. I want it off this rock a long time ago. I'm staying alive for this promise. God knows it. I don't care about much else. But I'm to the point where like don't don't fulfill the promise. Just get me off the planet. We'll call it a truce. That's where I'm at. I'm like, just get me off the planet. You don't need to fulfill your promise. We'll call it a truce if you get me off the planet. I'll be like, you didn't fulfill you don't have to fulfill your promise. Just get me off the planet. Cleanly, peacefully, The pastor was saying like he doesn't even like this world, he doesn't even want to be here. I'm like, I know exactly what that's like. The Baptist preacher, the pastor, he's like, I don't even want to be on the planet. Like it's so wicked here. I'm like, I know exactly what that's like. I don't even care about the wickedness of the planet. I just want to get off the planet. I just don't like the scenery. All I see is metal on wheels everywhere I go. Just metal on wheels. They call them cars. That's all I see. But anyways, enough about that. But John the Baptist was there. This is key. This is what the video is really about. Or what inspired the video. I've been watching The Chosen show, and it shows Jesus and John the Baptist like hanging out and they're like being friends, So that's what it reminded me of. Like in real life, it's like me and John the Baptist hanging out and talking to each other, because he brings a smile to my face every time, I'm happy to see John the Baptist, I am. It's almost like I'm Jesus back in the day, but I'm not Jesus. But I'm happy to see John the Baptist like Jesus was. I'm just like, hey, what's up, man? Hey. Everybody else there, I'm like, just get out of my way. I want to talk to John the Baptist. That's how I am. Like, I'm not even here for anybody else. All the singing is annoying anyways, and I don't care about anything else. I'm here for John the Baptist. I like John the Baptist. He said I had a beautiful smile. That's why I like him. Yeah. Like, one of the gifts that I have that I really acknowledged. I don't just have discernment. like telling someone's like telling the truth and stuff, and if they're bullshitting me to my face, I don't just have that. I can see someone's soul. I can see their soul. If it's a good soul, a pure soul. And John the Baptist has a pure soul more than anybody in that building, the Baptist building. He has the most pure soul. He does. More pure than mine, which isn't hard to do, but it's more pure than mine, and I know it. So anyways, but isn't that crazy that John the Baptist has a more pure soul, even more than the pastors? And I can tell that. Pretty crazy. That's a gift if I have from God. God gave me that ability. I can see people's souls. How pure they are. How good they are. John the Baptist has a pure as fuck soul. Pardon my language. But he does. Very pure soul. But anyways. So we were talking, and this is the most we've ever talked. Him and I. We were talking. And I know it's God talking to me through him. I know it. But still, I want to pretend it's John the Baptist talking to me. You know what I mean? It's kind of cool that, like, his last name isn't the Baptist, but he's in the Baptist church, so, and his name's John, so, John the Baptist, Get it? Anyways, I thought it was pretty funny, pretty cool, pretty crafty, So we're talking, and this is key. This is what I remember, and I don't think it was an accident. This is a key thing he said. he talked about Paul. And Paul always gets brought up to me throughout this road I'm on. Paul, the thorn in Paul. Read about Paul. He had the thorn. He was a bad guy first, and then he helped God, became a good guy. Read about Paul. So apparently, I have a parallel story to Paul's or something. Once a bad guy, now trying to become a good guy. You know what I mean? Once the enemy of the Christians, now helping the Christians or something. I've never actually read the story of Paul. You know. But I always get told about it constantly. Always get told about the story of Paul to me. It's almost like you're walking the road of Paul right now. Basically, I keep getting told that for a reason. And I know it's God telling me, because I've been told this Paul thing before. And it's one of the reasons I get told that God won't get me out of pain, like he wouldn't get Paul out of pain. Same reason. Same damn reason. It benefits God to keep me in pain. I know it does. Like it benefited him to keep Paul in pain. No bullshit. You know what? Paul's like, hey, Jesus, why don't you heal me? Like I'm doing now. Why don't you heal me? What the hell? You know? And God's like, no, it's for my benefit. To keep you in pain. You know what I mean? Because it does push me more to be in pain. I get way more done being pushed by pain. God knows it. You know what I mean? I move so fast because of pain, it's not even funny. You know what I mean? I get so motivated because of pain, it's not even funny. Yeah. Just like, I'm afraid to go into the Baptist church, but it doesn't matter. I'm in pain. I'll go in anyways. The pain's pushed me in. You know? Face the pain. You know? But anyways, that's what John the Baptist was saying to me. It was just like, Paul had issues with the Christians, you know. You know, he clashed with the Christians. And I know that was from God. God knows I'm clashing with the Christians like a motherfucker right now. He knows it in many ways. Online, in real life, I'm clashing with the Christians in so many ways. It's not even funny. The speaking in tongues is what drives me nuts. You know, that as well. I just have to say, the speaking of tongues, that can't be from God. Maybe it is, but it's so weird to me. I'm like, that can't be from God. It's so weird, you know? Anyways, that's just a side note. But anyways. So right when he was saying Paul was clashing with the Christians, I knew it was God talking to me. Like I said, God's not an idiot. God's not an idiot. Like a lot of people think he's not paying attention. He's paying attention. He knows I'm clashing with the Christians and they're driving me nuts. They're driving me nuts. They're annoying me. But it was him that brought the Christians in. And he knew it would drive me nuts. He brought them head on. Me and the Christians head on in real life and online. Head on, you know, clashing like this camera, clashing, you know, just like that. No bullshit. It's been like that. Just like, holy shit. So that's what's kind of been discombobulating my mind. And God knows it. It's been hard for me to center my mind like I usually am centered. The Christian onslaught has made me not centered. You know what I mean? It's discombobulated me. It has. You know. And I've just had to like rise above it. You know, try to rise above it. Just just stay in the now. You know, keep going. You know, ignore all them. To the people that think that I should run the channel the way they would, or a certain way, go do it. See how it goes. See how it goes when there's opposition against you on your channel that you want it done the way you want it. See how it goes. It's not fun. You know what I mean? You're not the one getting hate like I am. You know what I mean? Venom. You know what I mean? Anyways, enough about that. just when I think there's a disconnect between Jesus and me, he talks through John the Baptist to me, to my face. Makes me realize there's not a disconnect. He knows exactly who I am. Again, he knows exactly who I am and what to say to my face. But like I said, Jesus never shows up physically himself to say it to my face himself. Never. And that bothers me. That bothers me. He doesn't show up physically. Say it to my face, like a man. Like I've always said, like Jesus is afraid to face me. For the shit he will let happen to me, he's afraid to face me. I would be too if I was him. For literally for 10 years straight, Jesus never faced me physically. Never. But he's helped me get this far through many different ways. But he's never faced me physically to my face. You know what I mean? His resurrected self, basically, he's never faced me. You know what I mean? He knows me so damn well, but he won't face me. What's he afraid of? You know what I mean? That I'll say to his face that you betrayed me. Something like that. Maybe. Because like in my definition of betrayal, of what betrayal is, from my point of view of what betrayal is, Jesus betrayed me. From what my definition of betrayal is. Not your definition of betrayal. Not Jesus' definition of betrayal. My definition of betrayal. Jesus betrayed me. From my definition of my life. That's where I'm coming from. So, and he knows that. Yeah. Because if he was in my shoes, in my position, growing up, and I did what he did throughout it all, this is no joke. If I was Jesus, I probably would have ended my life if I watched that shit happen to me. You know what I mean? I would have felt so fucking guilty. No bullshit, That's why I'm like, I want God to face the reality of ending his life for a change instead of me. Have him face the chance of not existing anymore. You know what I mean? Instead of me now, all the time, See how he likes it to face that bullshit and non-existence. Anyway, that's just me. Another thing I thought about was just like, if I did half the shit that the narcissist did to me, I would have ended my life if I was them. You know what I mean? The guilt would have killed me. No, but not them. They're on autopilot robot. Terminator. That's what always surprised me. I'm like, if I did like half the shit that they did to people, I would have ended my life a long time ago. That's why it always surprises me. Like, oh, the narcissists are still alive? They're still going? That's another thing I thought about. Like, they never die. They never die. They're cockroaches that never die. That's another thing I thought about the other day. They just never die. They never go away. No matter what I do, But that's how I know they don't have a conscience. You know what I mean? Because if they did, they would have ended their life easily. The guilt of like destroying people, and they know it. They couldn't live with that, But anyway, enough about that. More positive stuff talking here. So this line, I know I'm all over the place, but there's a lot to say. There's a lot to say in every video, all right? I don't care if nobody watches it. There's a lot for me to say to get it out on the camera, so I can review it at a later time to help me at a later time. You know what I mean? The videos aren't just for the other people. They're for me too, all right? They are. Very much so. You know, they're my video journal. You know, just in case I die, I had a video journal before I died. A long video journal before I died for the people, for the masses. You know, and I thought about this. Like this, this was probably no accident. This was told to me today. Like if I were to die, I would be missed. I think I would be missed. A long time ago, I couldn't say that, but right now, like I got too close to too many people. You know, I risk too much. You know, too many people may like me, so I probably would be missed if I died. And they told me that not a lot of people can say that if they died that they would be missed, but I think I would be missed. Even by the people that hate me, they would miss me. They would hate that they can't target me anymore. You know, both ways. You know, people that hate me and target me, they'll miss me because they can't target me anymore. And then the people that like me, they won't get to see me anymore, so they'll miss me. You know what I mean? The only person that won't miss me is me. You know what I mean? That's for sure. But so, anyways, I swear, like the, the way people talk about Jesus and stuff, and like, oh, you know what I mean? Oh, too good for everybody. Name above names. Still shows through John the Baptist that he knows who I am. You know what I'm saying? God damn. You know what I mean? God damn it. You know? And I was talking to him, you know, talking to some other people there. Not John the Baptist, but I told him I grew up in Mormonism, the LDS religion. They're like, yeah, that Jesus isn't the right Jesus. I'm like, I figured that out. I figured that out, you know. I figured out that the only thing legit that I was taught was the Bible Jesus. That's the only legit thing that was correct. And Mormons completely ignore that part. You know, what Jesus says in the Bible, you know, they completely ignore that. They have you read the Book of Mormon mostly. Their book. They want you to read the Book of Mormon mostly. And just like they completely ignore the Bible mostly in Mormonism. It's more about the Book of Mormon. The made up book. You know what I mean? The book that I figured was made up when I was a kid. I'm like, this is made up. I'm serious. I'm like, this book is made up. But anyways, isn't that impressive? I knew a book was made up. That they said was from God. I knew it was made up. Yeah. But anyways. So yeah, I'm like, yeah, I figured out that the Mormon Jesus isn't real. I figured that out myself. And I figured out that the Bible Jesus is legit. That Jesus is legit. But I didn't tell him how I figured that out. I didn't tell him that I tried to outsuffer him. You know what I mean? To figure out the truth. You know what I mean? The only way to figure out the truth about Jesus in the Bible, if you outsuffer, if you try to outsuffer him, and there's no one to match it, basically, if there's no one to match your suffering, you know what I mean? Then it didn't happen. None of it happened because there's no one suffered my life, basically, like it says that Jesus did. You know what I mean? Basically. So if no one can match my suffering, you know what I mean? Then there's no Jesus. That's how I tested it, basically. It's through suffering I tested Jesus, 100%. He knows it as well. Yeah. I did want to know if it was legit or not, if anything else, because I knew I was being lied to in the cult. I knew I was being lied to in that religion. Something wasn't right about that religion. I knew it. I'm like, what the hell is the real truth? You know, I really want to know, is the Jesus story even true? Because if that's not true, then nothing's true. That's what I concluded. If that's not true, nothing is. All of it's false if Jesus is false. Everything hangs on that Jesus story. Everything does. No bullshit. Everything hangs by that story of Jesus. Everything. If that didn't happen, you don't have to go to church ever again. You don't have to read the Bible ever again. Nothing. Nothing. If what Jesus didn't happen, you don't have to do shit. You know what I'm saying? You're free. Free to science. You're free to science forever. Science, science, science. You know, astrology, astronomy. You know, that's it. You're free to do that. That's all. You know, because all the religion was bullshit. Even the Jesus part. You know what I mean? But it's pretty simple. Like, all the religion was bullshit except for Jesus. It's very simple. So, just pay attention to what he was saying. Basically. Ignore the religion, what the religion's saying. But anyways, enough about that. So he knows I'm clashing with the Christians. He knows it. That's why that Paul thing. I don't know the story of Paul. I didn't know he clashed with Christians. I knew he was a bad guy, though. Yeah. But I didn't know he clashed with Christians. You know what I mean? So I'm like, God damn it, John the Baptist. Why do you have to tell me that? Why do you got to tell me that? Like, you know what's happening in my life right now. Like you're omniscient or something. So. But anyways, another thing that happened today, and it was no accident. Before I was talking to John the Baptist, I keep seeing this homeless man. This is no bullshit. Different locations, I keep seeing this homeless man. Always gets my attention every time. You know, I swear Jesus changed my heart to a point where I have more compassion for the homeless than I ever had before. You know what I mean? I can't even ignore the homeless if I tried. You know what I mean? It's almost like I am Jesus and I can't ignore the homeless. You know what I mean? He like gave me his heart towards the homeless. Jesus did. You know what I mean? So like I just give them money. They don't even ask. I just give them money. So I was giving him money again. And he's like, I need a sleeping bag. You know, I need enough money for a sleeping bag. And this is no bullshit. And God knows this was no accident. I've had a sleeping bag in my car for a long ass time now. I never brought it into my place. You know, I've had it in my car for a long ass time, a sleeping bag. I just happen to have a sleeping bag. I'm like, I got one. You know, I don't even use it. I haven't never used it, so I may have used it a few times in my life. That's it. So I'm like, you can have my sleeping bag. You know, just gave him my sleeping bag. He's like, thanks. And now I don't have to be cold that night. You know, I'm like, definitely good thing. You know, so I am grateful I'm not homeless, even though I do feel homeless. I feel like one of the homeless, and I'm not even homeless. You know, I notice that. That's crazy, I know. But my best friend Chad, he had a compassion for the homeless as well. That's another thing I thought about. There's a thing about me, Jesus, and my best friend Chad. We all have a compassion towards the homeless. You know what I mean? Me more so than ever before. You know, I did a while in the past. You know, but like it's been more strongly lately. I don't know if God's been testing me with this man, or what. But you know, so hopefully tonight he's not cold. You know what I mean? Hopefully that sleeping bag. And the thing that kind of gets to me, like the last time I saw him, I don't know if he needed a sleeping bag back then. You know, months ago. And I'm like, damn. he's been going this whole time without a sleeping bag in the winter. I'm like, shit. So I felt bad that I could only give him a sleeping bag now. You know what I mean? Instead of back then. You know what I mean? That kind of, yeah, I think about those things, you know, I'm like, damn. Because that is my worst nightmare, to sleep in the cold. It is. God knows it. I'd rather die than do what this man is doing. I'd rather die, and God knows it, than sleep in the cold like he is. So I'm grateful I don't sleep in the cold. You know, I am. You know what I mean? God knows it. You know, I'd rather die than be in the cold, you know, without shelter. He knows it. So I'm like, you can have my sleeping bag. I don't need it. You know what I mean? God will take care of me somehow. You know, even if I fear homelessness, that God will somehow make me homeless. You need the sleeping bag more than I do right now. That's for sure. So I'm having faith. I'm having faith that God will still take care of me somehow. You know what I mean? If I give people my stuff. Basically, just have my stuff. God will take care of me. Just have my stuff. I don't need it. God will take care of me somehow. That's how it's been. Don't need more stuff. Just take it. Anyway. So that was my good deed for the day. For sure. I've never given a homeless man a sleeping bag before. Never. That was my first time. It did feel better that than giving him money. Just to give him a sleeping bag felt a lot more better. But anyways. So but yeah, I kept noticing that guy everywhere. Everywhere. I kept noticing that guy. I always gave him money every time, you know. Oh, every time. He doesn't even ask me, I give him money. You know what I mean? So I'd rather give money straight to the homeless than to a church that tells me I'm gonna burn if I don't give the church money. You know what I mean? I'd rather just give straight to the homeless. God knows that. You know. I do a lot better for this world out in the open. I help the world more out in the open than in a church. That's for sure. Yeah. This world is my arena. You know what I mean? Help the whole world in my arena. Somehow. Can't help everybody at once though. It's impossible. So I'm like, Jesus will have to do for now. Help people when I can't help them. Jesus will have to take care of it somehow. So I gotta make sure I don't forget about myself, you know. Gotta take care of myself too, you know. So. But anyways, another thing I want to talk about was I was wondering why did I get led to the Baptist church? You know, it you know, I feel like God led me there through John the Baptist. He led me to the Baptist church, and I'm like, why? And I think I figured out why he led me to the Baptist church, even though I hate how the Baptists do things. I hate it. It reminds me of how the Mormons do things, and I hate that. The only Christian church that I really like is the one in the mall, because I like walking the mall. You know, it's more my style. You know, it's low key. That's the one Marvin goes to. That's the one I like the most right now. Is the one Marvin goes to in the mall. So, but anyway, so I don't like how the Baptists do things, but I do like John the Baptist. You know, I like him. You know, he's a great dude. You know what I mean? Anyways, So this is what I think the reason I went, God's bringing me to the Baptist church. Not just for the messages and stuff, to what I need to work on at the time. They're strictly about the Bible. You know what I mean? They are strict about it. They're all about the Bible. That's what they're all about. More than any place I've been, they're all about that Bible. And God knows. And you guys know as well. I don't know the Bible very well. Not like a lot of you guys do. Like you guys point out scriptures constantly to me. You tell me scriptures constantly. I've never read God knows some of the scriptures you guys show me. It's the first time I've ever read them. Ever. God knows that. You know what I mean? I wasn't taught the Bible. I was taught the Book of Mormon. I wasn't taught the Bible. You know what I mean? So that's one of the reasons I feel God wants me going to the Baptist church is to learn the Bible. Front to back. He wants me to learn that Bible, you know, or something. And John told me to read Ephesians, the book of Ephesians. I've read it before, but I feel like God wanted me to read it again. And it has about that we battle against spiritual wickedness in high places and stuff, not against flesh and bones. It has that in that Ephesians book. So I read it, and something that stood out. There's always something that sticks out to me. In the first chapter, like verse 5. Okay. Chapter 1, verse 5 of Ephesians. Having predestinated us unto the adoption of children by Jesus Christ to himself, according to the good pleasure of his will. And that stuck out to me. Because it does feel like I'm an adopted child of Jesus right now. Like Jesus adopted me from my family of origin. That's exactly how it feels. That's why that verse stuck out. You know. It's like, it's no bullshit. It's like I walked away from my family of origin. Jesus acquired me through adoption. You know what I mean? I'm his child now. I'm his son. He adopted me. That's how it feels. I'm not even joking. That's why that verse stuck out to me. Like, it feels like I got adopted by Jesus, like midway through my life. No bullshit. Like, okay, I belonged to this family at first, growing up. Now Jesus adopted me away from that family. That's how it feels. Like, I'm an adopted child of Jesus now. Jesus adopted me away from my family of origin. That's how it feels. That's why that stuck out to me. You know, it's like, oh, he's mine now. I adopted him. That's exactly how it feels. That's why that verse stuck out to me. Anyway. But he's never had a child like me, I can tell you that much. He's never had a child like me. Never. Rambunctious kid like me. Yeah. No one can contain me. No one can tame me. Yeah. No one can. So, Jesus is really putting himself to the test. He is. The most wayward child ever born. Jesus adopted the most wayward child ever born. Ever. Most rebellious soul on the planet. Jesus adopted. Just like, shit. And the adopted kid's like, holy shit. This person that adopted me is actually stronger than me. Yeah, I'm like, shit. Smarter than me. More ahead of me in every way. Like, I'll show him. I'll show my father. Jesus, you're not my father. I wasn't born to you, Jesus. You're not my real father. You're not my real dad, Jesus. You can't even heal me, so you're not my real dad. So it's like I'm adapting to my new father, basically my new parent. I'm adapting. My new parent, Jesus. You know, who would have thought? You know, goddamn, it's like a never-ending nightmare. You know, like one parent to the next. You know, can't get away from these parents. You know, whether they're the narcissist parents or Jesus as my parent. You know, or God the Father as my parent. You know, apparently I always need a parent. Because no one taught me shit. I need a parent to teach me stuff. You know? That's another reason why I want to die. I wasn't taught shit. I wasn't taught shit how to live. You know what I mean? Nothing. Wasn't taught life skills for shit, you know? I'm a hard worker, that's about it. But anyways, enough about that. I gotta get going to bed, you know? Have a big day tomorrow, kind of. Every day is a big day, it seems like. But anyway, I think I said all I needed to say for this video.